Hello, everybody. We had a few technical difficulties. Sorry about that. Welcome to 2026. Hopefully everybody had a really nice break, and I hope that you guys love the music because I actually like it. Hello, Sharon. Glad that you're here. I've got Steph in the house. Phyllis is in the house. Kathleen, Darren, there's a lot of people in here, and I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, 2026 is upon us, and I hope that we're going to have a really good year. I got to tell you, I don't know what this year's going to hold for all of us for this show. There's kind of been some changes, and Bill Forte, who's the program director out of New York, he's decided to go to another station, and I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know that I'm going to stay with KGRA or not. It's really not going to matter to you guys. I'm still going to be coming to you from my YouTube page, and I'm just still trying to wonder. I'm wondering, what do I do? Do I go solo and just try to do it all myself, or do I try to rely? I would still have Amanda around because I love Amanda, but I don't know. I don't know what the future is going to hold for us. But there's two people that died this week. One of them is Lem Taylor, and Lem Taylor was a police chaplain with our police department. And Amanda, I don't know if you see his picture there, but Lem was there he is, super guy. I wanted to mention Lem. The crazy part is his granddaughter happens to be in prison, and she is somebody that I've tried to help get her out early, actually, to tell you the truth. And she was coming up again for parole. And I was talking to one of her relatives. I just don't try to keep people in prison. Sometimes people need to get out. And I happen to, thank you very much, Steph. I appreciate the condolences. Just a super guy. And I was talking to one of his relatives on the phone, and we were talking about Lem. And I was, telling her to tell him I said hello, etc. And later the next day, the chaplain, our main chaplain, came over and he goes, "You're not going to believe it, but Lem died last night." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? I was just talking about him yesterday." So it's very, very sad. The other one that I want to show a video right quick. And the video is of Harvey Pratt. And I thought that I would show this newscast that Oklahoma City put together. And in that in that newscast, it really kind of talks about him. And this guy is a legend. I mean, he was a sketch artist with OSBI. He started his law enforcement career in 1967 with the Midwest City Police Department here in Oklahoma, which is where I started mine from. And basically just a good person. So, Amanda, if you don't mind queuing that video up, I appreciate it.
That's their drawing. It's not mine. I do what they tell me.
Harvey Pratt spent decades with the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, and you could call him a frequent flyer on KOCO5's airwaves.
It's fairly factual. Just by following the contour of the face, I can reconstruct a damaged area between the cheekbone and the jawline.
I would look at a drawing and then the mugshot, and why they'd be almost identical.
Tuesday, some of his former co-workers met with us at OSBI headquarters. Dee Cordry is a former OSBI agent.
There was one homicide case that I had, and only a skull had been recovered. And so he did a reconstruction of that face.
His forensic sketches and artwork received national attention. Here in Oklahoma, he worked on all kinds of huge cases, some of which were the Girl Scout murders of 1977, and criminal investigators from around the country wanted his expertise. His co-workers also mentioned how he worked on the Green River murders in Washington State.
And Harvey would tell you that, I've never seen that mugshot before. He had no prior information or, visual.
Harvey had a lot of field experience, many years as an agent before he started doing his forensic artwork. Former OSBI Deputy Director and State Senator Dick Wilkerson told me how he and former Senator Gene Stipe came up with a position for Harvey as a civilian employee after all that field work.
Stipe just looks up and he said, well, Senator, said we're in the business of passing the laws. So I just moved that would create a position at the OSBI of a civilian forensic artist.
But Senator Wilkerson looked at Harvey as a friend and a fellow military veteran. And he also told me how Harvey was a loyal friend after Wilkerson's wife passed several years ago. He genuinely shared other people's burdens.
He told me later, he said, a shiver went through my body. And for the first time since I was in Vietnam, I was scared.
And that's who Harvey Pratt really was, a people person, which made him a valuable tool for OSBI. Other co-workers said it was captivating to watch him interview victims.
It was a master class in how to show empathy and compassion to someone who had been in some awful things, but yet still be able to draw up just the most minute details about what they would look for as composites, freckles or scars or anything.
He taught me better techniques on how to interview victims, and that spread over into offenders.
Originally from El Reno, Harvey was a proud Cheyenne and Arapaho tribal member, and after starting his law enforcement career with the Midwest City Police Department, he retired from OSBI with over 50 years of experience. He's also in the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, the state's Law Enforcement Hall of Fame, and the state's Military Hall of Fame. His funeral is scheduled for Thursday, and he was 84 years old. In Oklahoma City, Jason Berger, KOCO 5 News.
A real legend, honestly, and I have a couple of stories about him that I don't have time to share on here today, but just a class act. And actually, when I'd heard of his passing, I was like, man, I should have had him on this show. And I didn't get to that point where I was able to get in touch with him to get him on here. But so we lost two people this week that really, really sad. This week we were going to have a guest. We were going to have Stephen Scarborough, who is a forensic scientist, and he's retired from Las Vegas Metro Police. And he is very, very sick. I mean, all of a sudden, I think it's that darn flu. So I appreciate everybody's patience and you know, I appreciate you guys being here. Nevertheless, I was sitting in my car and I thought, you know what, I'm going to have Danny Couples come on. We'll just talk about whatever. And then it dawned on me. I was like, wait a second, Troy Belt. Troy is going to come on here, and he's somebody that this is going to be one of his, actually the last episode that I did with him. I don't know why this thing is going up the numbers as far as man, it's just, I'm getting a lot of views on his previous one that he had done on here talking about the prison, Kentucky State Penitentiary. And it's not that it wasn't any good. It's just that it hadn't really moved a lot. Then all of a sudden it went crazy. And so I thought, well, this would be great. Plus, not only that, Troy is, and this is not a political show. I don't get into the politics and all this, that, and the other. However, Troy is actually running for county jailer in the state of Kentucky. And I thought, well, that's kind of interesting. Let's talk about what in the heck a jailer is. And Troy actually worked in the prison industry, just to kind of remind people as to who he is. He worked in the prison industry for over 20 years. And he worked in the worst prison in the state. I say the worst. I mean, probably and arguably the most dangerous prison in the state of Kentucky, which housed their death row. And he worked there for 20 years. And this place is known as the Castle on the Cumberland, or KSP. And it looks like what a prison really should look like. It looks like a castle from the 1800s, because that's exactly what it was. So let's bring Troy on. Troy, welcome. He has been having technical difficulties here and there, but welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you.
I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry as to how your fantasy football basically failed you this year. Sorry about that. But I took the reins from you after I beat you that day and went on. So it is what it is.
Yeah, but you choked out in the championship.
I did. I know.
Yeah.
I lost out on the money, but that's okay. Hey, Troy. Now we just kind of remind people about who you are and what you came from, because there's a lot of people in here that probably haven't seen you before. I'm seeing a lot of names that I don't recognize. So that's great. I love it. Troy, you worked at KSP, which is located where and what kind of a prison was that?
So in 1998, I started my career at the Kentucky State Penitentiary as a correctional officer. Uh, like you said, we roll and protected custody, general pop. I mean, we had all sorts of inmates, but I worked there, moved up through the ranks, 2002, become a sergeant, 2004, promoted lieutenant, worked in internal affairs for a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, and moved on to a captain. I was a captain for a couple of years and then promoted to Unit Administrator 2, where I retired from. And I was also the Western State Hostage Negotiator Commander for about 5 or 6 years until I retired in 2019. And 2019, worked as a deputy jailer for 3 or 4 years for Trigg County. And then moved on to a security job at a hospital, Jenny Stewart's Medical Center here in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, where I'm currently working as a security officer. And now I'm campaigning and running for jailer for Trigg County, Kentucky. And I hope there's a lot of Trigg Countyans on here tonight.
Well, and the reason why that I brought him on here, and like I said before, I don't get into the politics end of it. But I do know him, and I have talked to him. I'm kind of his unofficial campaign director behind the scenes. And I've told him a lot of things, unsolicited advice. Trust me, all of it has been unsolicited, right, Troy?
Hey man, if anybody can put the fire in somebody, you can do it. I appreciate you.
I've given him a lot of advice, and honestly, my first question to Troy was, "What is a jailer?" So explain to everyone, because this is unique for the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Is that right?
Yeah. So a jailer. So we don't have a jail in Trigg County. The jailer. My definition of a jailer is first thing and foremost is protect the citizens of Trigg County. Protect the officers that's taking the inmates, because we transport all the inmates to and from court. We work with them on jobs like on the streets to clean the streets, to clean the back roads, and different things with them like that. So my job is to keep them sisters to any of the Trigg County people, family. So I want to make sure that they're safe as well.
Yeah. So one of the things so a jailer, and you don't have a jail, but you're responsible for the safety. The number one paramount safety is number one for the inmates. Is that correct?
Right. That's right.
And I'm just curious, in reference to, there's another jailer that's been in office, of course, and he's running as well. It's somebody and in the course of this, the jailer works directly with the sheriff's office. Isn't that correct? Sheriff, the police department, or all of the law enforcement?
Well, yeah, they work with all. The jailer works with all the law enforcement. So if there's an arrest made by the sheriff's department, by the police department, by the state police, by the Fish and Wildlife, they will bring them to the Justice Center, which a holding cell, and they'll call us, the deputy jailers, we got 30 minutes to get there to take custody of them and to take them to jail or take them to get a medical clearance or wherever, then they're in our custody.
Okay. So what is it that, we've talked about a lot of the different things that you're planning on doing if you were to be elected for this position. And you've been out there hustling, man. You were out there talking to a lot of different groups today, as a matter of fact. And actually we planned on doing this down the road, but then I reached out to him and I said, "Hey, Troy, there is no time like the present. I'm going to, let's just throw you out there. So people can hear you, and you've prepared for this. I don't think that you have any problems. You were a negotiator for a long time with Kentucky State Penitentiary, so you're not going to have any issues with answering questions. So I thought, man, let's just throw you on the spot, and this, I want to talk about what it is that you're planning on doing, or what are some of the things that you would like to do if elected to this position that you feel is kind of stuff that you can improve on.
So you're throwing me into the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the name of the show. Hey, Listen here, I've been going around talking to a lot of people. I went to the Senior Citizens Center today, and I want them to learn about me, so talk to them, and I hear their stories, and then I tell them that I want to work for you. Y'all pay the hard-earned money, so I want to help you guys out. So let me hear what y'all want. And a lot of people says they want change. They want something new. But I can bring a lot more stuff to the table. Technology, I can bring a lot of technology to the table that the jailer hasn't had in several years. I can bring integrity and honesty to the table. Transparent. I tell everybody about me. I mean, I want them to know that I'm going to, the vehicles that's used to take these inmates to jail, I want to put a GPS in them vehicles, and I want to put cameras in vehicles. Mm-hmm. That way, they'll feel safer in the vehicles. Yeah. That way, that covers them and us as well. That covers everybody, because cameras don't lie.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about this, and you've kind of talked to me about the inadequacies, or at least staying up with technology with that particular agency, and that you wanted to kind of bring in like a computer into the office.
Yeah.
Things like that for scheduling, et cetera, and making sure that inmates get to the right places and so forth. Isn't that correct?
Yeah. And it would help the whole department out. They wouldn't have to, I don't want them depending on me. I want to do my own work. I can do a lot of work on the computer and generate a lot of the paperwork that they need. And so I can generate my own stuff, and things like that. And one other thing that I would do,
your phone's kind of going in and out, unfortunately. While that's happening, I wanted to welcome real quick. Oh, go ahead. I don't know what the deal is with this connection. It's kind of going in and out. Just real quick, I wanted to welcome Mark Sechrist, the sheriff of Wagner County. Welcome. He's from Tulsa Police Department, and he's went on and he's served as the sheriff in Wagner County for a long time. I appreciate you being here. Also, Doug with Triad Forensics from up in Colorado. Appreciate you being here, buddy. A good friend of mine. I love it. I appreciate that very much. I'm guessing that you might have been tuning in for the forensic scientist, because that's kind of your arena. But we've got Troy, and Troy is the bomb. But so Troy, listen. So you've got a lot of work to do if you get this position, and of course this thing runs for, when do people vote for this particular office? I mean, when is the voting happen for this?
It's in May. There's only going to be a primary. There's not, because it's going to be 2 Republicans running. And that's it. So whoever wins in May will win the jailer job.
All right. And so what's the do you happen to know the rough population of you live near Cadiz, but do you know the rough population of Trigg County? Trigg County is located in the south part of the state. You guys actually touch Tennessee, am I right?
Yeah, we border Tennessee. Like where I live, I'm probably about an hour and 5 minutes from Nashville. Mm-hmm. About 35 minutes from Clarksville. So they're the population, the ones that vote, I think there's around 4 to 4,500 people that vote in Trigg County, from what I've seen on the last election. So that's a lot of people to go see. So that's why I've been trying my best to get out there and see as many people. But my problem is talking. I get to talking to them, and next thing you know, I've been talking to them for 45 minutes, and so yeah. My wife's like, you got to cut it. Well, I said, well, I don't want to cut it short. I want everybody to know who I am and who they're voting for.
Yeah, and I agree with that, and that's one of the things that I think that is good, and what Troy brings to the table. Now, Troy, you are not somebody that just all of a sudden said, "Hey, I think a jailer sounds like a cool job." I mean, you worked in prison for 20 years, and in working in prison, you dealt with inmates every day, and some of the worst of the worst. Am I correct?
That's right.
And so what is it? How did that prepare yourself for this position coming up? And maybe, I'm not saying anything towards the other guys. As a matter of fact, Troy, if that other guy wanted to come on here and he wanted to talk about it, I don't have any issues with that either. I mean, he's certainly welcome to tell me what he would bring to the table. But I think that, what do you think that makes you unique for this position? As far as your experience that kind of separates you from maybe the incumbent that's there?
Well, I have a lot more experience in what he's got. He's been jailer for like 18 years, but no experience. And I'm, the penitentiary molded me. Every job that I did molded me for this position. And I didn't know 25 years ago that I was going to be running for jailer. When I retired prison, I didn't know I was going to be running for jailer. But when I retired, the first job that I took was a deputy jailer, and I got to doing that, and I was like, man, I can really make a difference in the jailer job. I know I was like a fly on the wall for 4 years. Of ideas to help them on the way, but I was just like, I'm going to, and I told him that I was going to run, and he was like, well, yeah, you can take my place. That was the deal, but so I moved on, but that right there set a fire in me that I want to be jailer, and I want to do a lot of good things for this community.
Right.
Trigg County is a great community. I mean, and the people deserve it. I mean, they deserve a lot of change and a lot of things that I could bring to the table. Well, just communication, just communicating with people, the way that.
Well, I mean, one of the things that's kind of unique about this position too is, and I think Danny had asked one of the questions that he had asked, and Danny's actually going to come and join us here in a second. Danny Couples.
Oh, good.
He was unavailable, and I can't remember if you guys have you guys met. I can't remember if you guys have met officially or not.
No, I've heard a lot about him. I really am looking forward to meeting.
Well, you're going to meet him in about 5 seconds or 10 seconds here after he gets his phone situated. Right. But I'll tell you what, one of the things that I think that communication is the key. This is the secret, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to just tell you this. And hello, Gurley. I appreciate you being here, and Karen Roscoe. And seriously, I appreciate everybody that's in here. Corrections is a tough job, Mark. It's a very, very tough job. Welcome, Danny. Turn your phone sideways so we can see all of you.
Let's try this right here.
Yeah, it's even better. Thank you very much for being here, buddy. I had originally asked him to. I said, we were kind of short of a guest, so I was like, man, who can I call that is Johnny on the spot or Danny on the spot, and he was like, yeah, I'll do it, but then he had to run somewhere. So welcome, good to meet you, or good, Troy, you're getting to meet Danny, and vice versa. I was going to get them together in Tennessee, and you never know what the future holds. So
hey, Troy, nice to meet you, buddy.
Oh yeah, he's not very far from me at all. Yeah, nice to meet you, Danny. I've heard a lot about you.
Hey, appreciate. I had a question. I've been watching. I'm actually at work today, so I can't say where. I might get in trouble. But so if the alarms goes off, Amanda, you just shut me off. But I have never. I know Tennessee doesn't have elected jailers. Is that how many states has that?
I don't know, and there's a lot. There's I know a couple counties that don't even have a jail. See, we don't even have a jail, and our job is as a jailer,
Well, one of the reasons that Danny, I brought him on here also brought you on here is because I thought that you would bring kind of good questions that are, you don't really know them. So, I mean, it'd be kind of good for you to ask him a question or two. And so I don't think that I, as he's telling me about this jailer position, I'd kind of started researching it. I don't think that there's another jailer like they have in Kentucky. Kentucky's a weird state. And I don't mean that in a bad way. You guys, first of all, they call you a Commonwealth. You're only one of 3 states in this country. You have the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and the Commonwealth of Kentucky. So you guys have some strange, maybe they're not strange. That's not fair. Sorry to my peeps out in Kentucky. But you guys have some different things in your state, right? And so this jailer position, it's kind of interesting to me. The jail, you're over, how many people would you be over in this position?
So not very many, 4 to 5 deputies. Which I would like to change that, because it is when a deputy is on call, he's on call for like 3 to 4 days. That's 24. So if they call you at 3 o'clock in the morning, if you're on call, hey, you got to go take somebody to jail. And that could last for, up to 3 days, and it's tiresome. And that's something I'm looking into. If I get elected, to change that, to make more people, where people won't be so tired, and they'll be when they're doing dangerous jobs like transporting inmates.
Yeah, you're right.
Were you a law enforcement officer, or will you actually work for the county sheriff's department, or is it the county government? How does that work?
No, so the jailer's elected. He's an elected official, and the sheriff's an elected official. We kind of work under the judge executive. So we kind of work under him, but the jailer works for, he's out of
Yeah, I don't know why his phone keeps trigging out on us from Trigg County.
Trigg County.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so you're wanting it. Basically, he's wanting what everybody wants. He's wanting to bring in new equipment. He's wanting the thing that really kind of, I asked him flat out. I said, what are you wanting to do? And I wasn't guiding him down this road. I wanted to know what he was going to say. And one of the things that you were really interested in doing, which really, I was really liking when I heard it, and that's training. You're interested in implementing, or at least giving them access to a lot of different training opportunities in that agency, and what are some of the ways that and of course you don't know the roadmap for everything. I mean, I had Mark Lamb on here, who is America's sheriff. He's retired now from Pinell County, one of the most well-known sheriffs ever. And he didn't know what he was doing when he started that job. So, I mean, you don't know everything about it. There's just no way you're going to. What is your thoughts, and how do you think you're going to be able to implement some of this training for your guys to make it a better work environment for them?
I'm glad you asked that question. It came up today. So my relationship with all law enforcement in Trigg County is very good, even those that have retired here in the past year or two. But I've talked to them, and I want the deputies to train with the police at some of their training, with the sheriff and some of their training. So they're going to be trained with the best, because they need to be the best, because transportation is a dangerous job there is. And just like new equipment, tasers, I want to get tasers. I want them highly trained on takedowns. If they're attacked by an inmate, or what to do if they're attacked, what to do if an inmate slips his cuffs and comes at you, or whatever. There's a lot of techniques and training that them guys don't get. Some of them don't get trained to shoot a weapon. So that right there they're gonna have training, every other month, shooting weapons. I've got the surrounding counties that two of the guys running are friends of mine that I asked, and they're sheriffs. They're running sheriffs in all the counties around me. So I'm in connection with, I know 4 or 5 counties surrounding me that we can all train together. They might know somebody that's doing a training session, and I can send my guys.
Yeah.
And that's what they need. I mean, and then some of them need special training. I can send maybe one or two officers to get special training, special judo or takedowns or training like that.
Yeah.
Troy, do they, I'm asking because I don't know, do y'all actually work with the penitentiary or just the jails?
No, so when we have court, the penitentiary does come there. If they got the inmates at the penitentiary, they'll bring them to court, and so we have to work with them. So that is a good question. The guys come in, we got to work together on how to get that inmate in and where to take him, and where they're inmates up to the judge calls their name. We got to show them where to go and give them keys and how to go. So it's all teamwork.
Yeah, teamwork makes the dream work, and really, that's going to be. I think that just to kind of remind people that's listening here, I'm telling you the secret in law enforcement. It doesn't matter if you're a jailer or if you work for a county sheriff's office or you work for a city police department or you work for the FBI. The number one ability for any of us, and the thing that's going to be key for your success, Troy, and I agree with you, is your ability to communicate with people. And that's what it's about. I mean, being able to be, when you get asked tough questions, to be able to give answers when you can, and to try to strive to be the best. And that's what we talked about. And that's one of the things that you want to do. You want to make it the best of the best. And you're going to be able to, you're going to try to do that. And I'm sure that the budget is not extraordinary. I mean, it's probably a shoestring budget, I would think, but I don't know. So what's that all looking like?
I didn't hear what you said then.
I said basically what's
the
what's the budget look like for a position like that? Not necessarily what the salary would be for you, but what is the budget that you would be working with to kind of implement some of these things that you're wanting to do?
I don't know exact budget, and I don't even want to guess. If I was to guess, I don't know, maybe 100,000, but he has to have for overtime to pay his employees up to 4 for the year. So I think an employee is like
Danny.
So you got to have a overtime budget, clothes, boots. They provide all that, but he's got to put that in his budget, and then wear and tear on the vehicles. Each deputy's got their own vehicle. So, yeah.
And then of course radios, et cetera, and all that stuff costs money.
Right.
Not to mention the fact now these employees that work in this capacity, I'm sure that we talked about this a little bit too, that it's probably a springboard type of a position that I don't know. I mean, maybe you have guys that do that for 30 years, but I would think that some of them are kind of wanting to get into this to maybe go to Kentucky State Police possibly, or one of those other agencies. Is that kind of what kind of goes on there in that type of a position?
Yeah. So one of the deputies just recently, I'm glad you said that, because one of the deputies that worked for Trigg County just transferred to the sheriff's office. So it should be, and I'm going to make it like a stepping stone for law enforcement. Get the young guys that can't get into police or sheriff right now. Come in to the deputy jailer and learn from that. Get your foot in the door and learn how to do things. And and maybe be a good police officer.
Yeah.
I'm game for that. That's what I'd like to do. People that want to stay, the older guys, that's in there, they want to stay because they just there's one or two older guys that's in there now, and they've been there for several years. And they don't want to go anywhere. But yeah, Yeah, I want it to be like that.
Yeah, Travis had asked if when you said that they were driving their own vehicles, you don't mean that they're driving their own personal vehicles and these prisoners and stuff.
No.
They're assigned vehicles.
They're assigned. I think we have 2 Explorers, Ford Explorers, and 1 Impala, and they are assigned to each deputies, and of course they get the gas card, and they're responsible for that vehicle. So they have the responsibility and integrity for that vehicle to do whatever they want. Of course they don't want to use it when they're not on the clock, but if they're on the clock and they have to go to the grocery store or things like that, hey, you got to take that vehicle because you might have somebody, what we call a 1015. I think y'all call it too, an arrest. So anytime you have that, I mean, you can go anywhere as you want, but be available and be able to respond within 30 minutes.
Yeah. Now, I don't want you to necessarily give your roadmap out to the competition and so forth. I mean, I wouldn't ask your competitor that either, but I'm sure that you have a lot of, you've got a plan. Have you kind of sketched out a plan? Mark Seacrest that's in the audience and so forth. He runs for election. Actually, he's been in there for so long. I don't even know that he has to run really. I don't know that he really has competition, but you have like a roadmap, I'm sure. Have you kind of sketched out your plan as to different phases of your campaign to be able to get the word out? And how has that been received by the public that you've interacted with thus far?
That's a very good question. So
I'm a very smart guy, Troy, and I'm going to ask.
You are. Hey, Danny, you talking about a guy that, man, he puts. I'm talking about on the phone with him for 4 to 5 hours, and he's driving me.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
He's like a caboose, just pushing me.
That's what he does, man. He's good at it.
I love him.
Well, I love him. I like to have friends in high places.
Yeah, I love him. He's he's told you, I'm gonna answer his question, but he's told you I brought him to Kentucky, and he's been here several times after that.
Yeah,
and that's what I had to do to him. I had to drive him to get him to come to Kentucky.
Yeah. Troy's responsible for me visiting Kentucky to teach at least 7 times. So, and I appreciate that very much. So you do, go ahead and answer that question. What is, or I don't even remember what it was, but it was brilliant. Do you remember the question?
I do. It's a good question. I'm in a process of visiting people. I want to know their ideas, what they, because they're paying the hard-earned money for the jailer. So I want to know what their ideas and what I can do for them. But hey, mine is getting in there if I get it, or when I get it. Get in there and get these guys trained up real good, and change a lot of the technology. The jailer's vehicle is an extended cab truck with no cage in it. That's the first thing I'm going to do is put a cage in that truck, because hey, I'm working with my guys. Teamwork's dreamwork, like we was talking about. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to have inmates in my vehicle, and that'll help out the gas bill instead of driving a truck with the van, and we need 3 or 4 extra people to get to court. And we got to go all the way back. Why not me to put a cage in the truck and get them 4 extra inmates, mm-hmm. and work with the guys? Yeah,
I agree with that. I think that, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to ask, how dangerous is that job, Troy? Have you ever had incidents of where someone tried to escape? Anything like that happened in the past?
Yes, and when I was deputy, there was a guy that tried to jump out of the van. See, when they're in the van, they're just seatbelt, but the door, if that door is not double locked where you can't open it from the inside, there's a little button that you can push down inside the door.
Yeah, it's like a child safety lock almost, but it's probably designed for that.
It's a safety feature. He tried his best. He was wanting to die. He'd recently lost his girlfriend, and he was trying to kill us. We didn't know. I mean, we was driving down the road, and all of a sudden we was double locked, and he didn't get to jump out, But we've had guys to act up, jump over the seat, beat and bang the window, the back window. And then when working at the penitentiary, we had the same thing. We've had to mace them while they're in the car because they tried to kick the seats and anything they can try to get to us. They've tried to bust the window out, which has got it's caged in, it's wired in. It's and it's plexiglass, it's very hard to break. But hey, they tried to break in and get to it.
Yeah. Now, of all the jobs that's out there, Troy, in your retirement, why in the world do you want to do this one? I mean, I'm not knocking it. I'm just like, why do you want to do this? Is it because you worked in this field for a long time and you feel that you can really make an improvement in it? Or, do you kind of miss that, that work or what?
No, it's some of what you said. Hey, this job is molded in me. I want to do it for the community. They deserve it. I mean, they deserve somebody that, and not bragging or nothing, but somebody that really knows what they're doing, and somebody that really knows how to handle inmates, and somebody who really knows how to talk to people. And that's a lot, man. Communication is the thing, and how to deal with people and all that. The knowledge to transport. The knowledge, I want to teach my guys active listening skills.
Yeah, you need somebody that had an experience with prisoners, and who else has got more experience than you do and with that? You can't just get somebody off the street to come in and do a job like that.
No, the guy the guy that's in there now has been jailer for 18 years, and not talking bad about him, but he has no experience in doing all the things that needs to be done, and the knowledge. No technology, no. He don't have none of that. None of the communication skills. I've been asked by a lot of the people here in this county, higher ups, they've asked a bunch, hey, are you going to run? You going to run for jailer? I was like, well, I don't know. I might. Are you going to run for jailer? I've even had them to visit me at where I work at. I'm talking about, the higher up people that run this community and help out with the community, and they got a big name.
Well, sounds like they're going after the right guy.
Yeah, and I say, yeah, and they say, good. It's time. I'm here. I've heard this. It's time for a change, and we need somebody good. And we're ready. We've been waiting on you.
Yeah, that's great. So let's fast forward this, and let's just say that you get the position. What are the first three things that you plan on doing when you get into that office? What would you do? What's like a short list of three things that you could probably get accomplished that you really wanted to tackle?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is put a cage in that vehicle so I can help my staff out. That's the very first thing I'm going to do in that truck is get and talk to him about getting a cage put in that truck where I can help the staff out and getting new uniforms that right now they're light blue, but I want to get new uniforms that makes them look, we want to look good. Because when you look good, the inmates, they would treat you different. If you look like you know what you're doing and professional, they're not going to try little things on you because they know that, hey, this guy he knows what he's doing, and that's what they look at. When they look at a slouch, they know they can get over on them.
Yeah, that brings up a good point.
I'm not saying that they look like slouches, but they don't look like what I want.
Yeah. You know, they did studies. They did a study with inmates that are cop killers and people that have tried cops or probably killed deputies, et cetera, deputies, cops. And that was the number one reason that they went ahead and tried to do what they did, is because their uniform was disheveled, wasn't clean, or, you know, they didn't look fit, et cetera, et cetera. And so I agree with that. I think that's a really good start. And to change things up a little bit. And that's something that you probably could do. Now, that's two things. Is there another thing?
Yeah. I want to meet with all the law enforcement in the town, in the city. I want to meet with the police department. I want to meet with the sheriff's department. And I want to ask them, what can we do to help y'all? So that's going to bring unity in with us. I want to let them know that hey, we got your back and we're here. What more?
Yeah, and fix the connection.
And then I'm going to the dispatch. You know, that's our communication. I'm going to the dispatch saying, hey, what can we do to make your job easier, to help you out? So them are the first things I'm going to do.
Yeah, and I think that's a great plan, Troy. I think that's a great start. And just from being on the planet for a long time, I think one of the things that I would do, you know, I'm probably going to run for office of some sort one day. I have this desire to do it. And if I was running for this position, one of the things, we've talked a lot about this, and one of the things that I would do, I think one of the things that's vitally important is setting the expectations for your people. You know, and I'm sure that's going to be with probably shoring up your policies and procedures, and just the simple things of telling people, hey, this is, you know, one of the best things that they did on this department when I first got on. And I remember when I first got on, I don't know that they even do it now. I've been off the streets for a long time, but they used to give you like squad expectations of what they, you know, this is what we want you to do. And we expect this out of you, and that's just the rules. And I don't know if that's kind of fallen off a little bit, but I'm sure that's something that you probably plan on incorporating somewhat. I would agree. I mean, I would think you would, right?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And evaluation process. This job title has no evaluation process, and that will be implemented. And they'll get evaluated at the end of the year on their job performance. And hey, I'll do all I can if I can get them meet with everybody I need to meet. If I can get them, if they exceed my expectations, man, why not give them a paid day of vacation or 2 days, or, you know, that's what we got at the prison. If we exceed over a point system, we would get 2 days off, and everybody liked that. And if you exceeded and you had some to, you know, to get better at, you would get like 1 day off. And if you just met all expectations, you would just, you know, you wouldn't get none. But yeah, evaluation process, absolutely. And you know what, an interview panel. This job here is just, the jailer just talks to you and say, well, I like you or I don't like you, and give you the job. I'm going to do a background check, you know, run the NCIC through dispatch and make sure that, you know, this guy ain't got nothing in his background, and have an interview team. Not just, I want to have maybe 2 more people they might see something in somebody that I don't, and we can talk about it. Now, you know, we might miss out on somebody good because, you know, I'm not, you know, seeing what I need to be seeing, and somebody else might see something I missed.
Yeah. Travis,
I'm going to implement that as well.
Do y'all have annual training, or do they have to be a certain training level to enter into that field?
They're supposed to. They're 8 to 14 hours a year, and that's unacceptable. Sometimes,
should it fall under post training, or is that just under law enforcement?
I think that's just under law enforcement, because there's sometimes where I was there and didn't even receive firearm training.
Well, it sounds like you got a lot of work to cut out for you, but definitely, I think that you're gonna. I've known Troy for almost 10 years, right? I've known you for close to a decade, Troy.
Yeah.
And I certainly wouldn't. I wouldn't be telling people about that. And I know that there's a lot of people in Kentucky who are going to be watching this. There's no doubt about it. I know a ton of people in the world of corrections in the state of Kentucky. And I know like maybe 2 people in Oklahoma. I know over 100 in Kentucky, from wardens all the way down. And I will say this, that Troy, I was impressed with the day I met him. I have no doubt that he would do an amazing job. I don't think that he would waste the citizens' time in Trigg County. And I've been to Trigg. I've spoke there, and I was incredibly impressed with the people that live there. And I think that I definitely think that he's worthy of a look. And for that to happen, if you live in that area, I'm just kind of putting out a 2 cents worth for Troy here. If you live in that area, the biggest thing that I've told him, and he knows this, but people that are listening to this, you got to get up and you got to vote.
Yeah.
You have got to go vote. If you don't want to vote for nobody else because you don't like who's running, that's okay. You don't have to, but you got to get up to vote for that candidate that you want for that position. And this is something that he truly wants. And I genuinely, I wouldn't even have you on here, Troy, if I had any doubt in my mind. I think you would do a good job. And that's one of the reasons that I think that there's probably not a lot of other candidates that are, you've got the incumbent, and then they've got you, and you're of the age too that you've got a lot of years. I think when I asked you this, I said, how long did you plan on doing this? What was your response?
I'd like to 20 to 25 years.
Yeah. So you're not interested in doing this just for a term.
I've got another life to if God's willing.
That's
and right. Hey, my health holds up. I can work up to 70 years. I'm game for it. I'm ready to do it for this community. And another thing else I want to say is the people that live around in my neighborhood. Man, there is some people that really has helped me through this, and I want to give them a shout out. There's a lady that made my hats, and Danny, I know you don't live in Trigg County, but
No, I'm close,
buddy.
I know a lot of people up there.
Yeah, so I've got a hat for you. They're good hats too, but she made these hats, and man, they're really good hats. She helped me out a whole lot, and I got other neighbors that live up the road, and she's given me all kinds of ideas, and man, she's like Jason. She's been, hey, do this, do this, do that. How about this? And she's given me a lot of ideas. So thank you, Aunt Linda.
Yeah. Amanda's like, where do we buy the merch? Hey, Amanda, if you live in Trigg County, you don't have to buy it. You just call him. And if he'll proudly bring you a sign, and I'm sure he can find a hat somewhere for you if you live in Trigg County and you're interested in voting for him. And, I've
got a few extra hats.
I bet you do.
I've got, and I can get more, but I plan on having a meet and greet. Hopefully that you'll be able to come, and maybe Danny can come.
Yeah.
And I'm planning on feeding people and getting to meet people, and that's what it's about. And getting up there talking and answering questions, any questions that they got. I'm ready. I'll stay there till midnight or later if they want. There's not going to be no end of time. There's when everybody's ready to go, we can go. But I want to feed everybody. And one other thing I did today, I went to the senior center. I'm gonna have a fish fry for them. So anybody that's watching, they're welcome as well. I'm gonna the fish is on me, and and they can bring the sides. So
great,
they'll love it.
I love it. Hopefully there'll be no food poisoning and then everything will be perfect. To Sharon, I'll tell you what. To Sharon, I'd love to be a chief of police, and if I was, Boy, there'd be some things that I'd be pretty freaking electric. You have no idea what I would do with some things and make some changes on certain things. Yeah. No idea. So, but anyway, nevertheless, I think this is great, Troy. I think that you, I love it, and I love being your non-solicited contributor and advisor in your campaign. So I appreciate that. I'm really hoping for good things. So any last thoughts that you want to bring to the table? And well, I am curious about this. Has there been any disappointments on your campaign trail? Anything that have kind of jumped out to you that you're like, man, I had no idea it was going to be like this. This is kind of a drag.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 99.9% positivity. There's a few people that on the internet that make that, they always try to throw a little bit of dirt on you or whatever. But hey, I'm not perfect. The only perfect person in this world was Jesus Christ. Right. So yeah, I'm not perfect, and I've made mistakes, but hey, I learned from them. Mm-hmm. I learned from them, and I don't make the same mistake twice. And hey, I want
to mention something too. You did a radio interview with Alan, and what's that station? And if somebody wanted to kind of learn, you have a Facebook page. Let's mention what that Facebook page is, so people can go and follow you there on that, where you put up information about your campaign, right?
That's right.
What is that page?
That is the page is Vote Troy Belt Jailer and Troy Belt, and yeah, just get on there and I'll add you on. I'm adding on many people as I can, because I want to get the word out what I'm doing, and I'm just now really starting to get in the groove of it, of everything, and going and visiting a lot of people, and so I'm still going to be doing that. I'm going to try to go to many places as I can, and have as many. I want to have something every month, whether it's a rally or whatever it is. I want to have it and meet up with people and just talk, because people's curious. Some people can't put a face with my name. I visited some people and it's like, yeah, I know who you are now. I just couldn't put a face to it, but. I've met some people and they're like, man, where you been? And I was like, do I know you? And they're like, no, but we've been waiting on you. We've been waiting a long time on you. So the community has been waiting for a change for a long time. And there's a lot of people that switch their, and I'm not a political person. I'm usually for the best man for the job. Mm-hmm. But in this community, a lot of them has went and switched to Republicans, so they can make they can be seen in this election. They want to have a voice in this election. So there's a lot of them, and they've told me about it. They said, we went and changed. We want to have a voice. So I've got a good vibe and a good feeling, and I learned a long time ago from a good leader that's been on this show as well. Don't count my chickens to the hatch. So I learned from that, and I'm not gonna, say I know I'm gonna get this job and I'm ready for it. Hey, I'm not. But if it's meant to be, then I'll be jailer of Trigg County, and I will love it.
That's right. I told you that as well. And actually, that person that you're talking about that's well respected, are you allowed to say his name? Because I know who you're talking about. Would you rather not?
I thought it was Sheriff Lamb, but I guess it was somebody else.
No. Yeah. Are you allowed to? Are you allowed to say his name? Go ahead.
Yeah, Phil Parker told me that years ago. He said, "Don't count your chickens to the hatch." And
Phil Parker's a very well respected warden, and not just in the state of Kentucky, but throughout the country. And so, an author, and he's it's an excellent episode. So thanks for bringing that up. He's
writing other books too. And I didn't even tell him I was going to be on here or not. I just told a few people, but maybe I'll share it on my Facebook and everybody can watch it. I'm going to try to get about 50,000 views for you, Jason. So
yeah, that's what I'm looking for. As a matter of fact, I want to thank all the people that I made it to my goal of 3,000 subscribers to my YouTube page, Detective Jason White. You got to hit like and subscribe, right, Amanda? Like and subscribe to the page, please.
I've been telling all my people to do that too. Hey, real quick,
some of them are doing it. Yeah, that's right. Like and subscribe.
There it is.
Go ahead.
A lot of people, some people that's watching, that's on here for me. Can you tell them about who Danny Couples is and a little bit, maybe just a minute or two of what he's done and what?
Yeah, Danny, why don't you tell us? Yeah, go ahead, Danny. Tell us.
Well, quick. I know we're about to run out of time, but I'm a critical care paramedic. I've been in first responder for almost 40 years. I've been in forensic investigation since the early 2000s, and that's kind of where Jason and I met, was in crime scene training up in New York. I teach infant death investigation classes for a university here, but mainly my number one job has been a critical care paramedic. I work on a cold case unit in the county that I live in, and I love being a part of that. I've been on it for 2 years now, and we've made a lot of progress on some cases that we're working on.
Yeah, and I think that's exciting. And cold case, that doesn't pay you anything, does it? Or is that just kind of a volunteer deal?
It's volunteer. We have some retired detectives that's come in, and we were handpicked. We've got a group of about 2 to 3 full-time officers, and then the rest are either retired or handpicked to come in to be a part of the team.
Yeah, and you're also a part of a light bulb company. Tell them just briefly about that.
We have a light bulb that we've been a part of it's been going about 5 years now. It's a light bulb that goes on your house that during an emergency, you can flip a switch, hit a button, use your app, and it turns that light into a beacon for first responders. Any first responder will tell you that one of the most difficult things is to find a residence under an emergency situation, under any situation. But this light actually helps us find the person that we're going after or going to. The locator 911.
And who's your partner in that venture?
Is Jonathan Harrison. He actually lives in just outside of Tulsa. He retired from here and moved there. He's been up there now almost 10 years, I think. But he's actually the inventor, lives near Tulsa.
So there's the website for it, ladies and gentlemen. It's the locator911.com. You can actually purchase those bulbs, and it's for a good, it could be life-changing and life-saving. Honestly, that actually could be a slogan for your bulb.
I'll be getting me one.
You should.
Danny.
Yeah, there you go. We'll get you. I would get a cup from Jason, but I think he's out.
Yeah, I wasn't.
How far are you from me?
Probably an hour and a half, maybe.
Yeah, we're definitely going to meet up.
Yeah,
we will for sure, no doubt. And I'll meet with you guys both as well. Anything else that you want to leave with final thoughts, Troy? That you want to leave the listeners with, that especially those that are in Trigg County, that may be just going, maybe I like Troy and maybe he deserves my vote. What else would you like to share, if anything? Where can they go to learn a lot more about you? Other than the website, is there anywhere else? Or
no, I've got like my Facebook page, but I'm going to be putting like where I'm going to have my meet and greets at, and questionnaires, and they can ask me anything on the Facebook, and I'll try my best to answer all questions. But hey, if you want somebody that's proactive and somebody that wants to get in there and get their hands dirty and treat people with respect and do whatever. I want to expand the role. I want to rewrite the definition of jailer. I'm going to redo all of that. And I just want to be somebody that they can say, hey, that's my jailer. And
yeah, and they're proud to have you working for them, and that's what you're looking for, right?
And they're proud for them.
I just happened to see a name of somebody in here that I gotta give her a shout out, and it's Dreama. And I got to mention Dreama. She lives on the Navajo Reservation in western New Mexico. And if you've ever seen Breaking Bad, where Mr. White's out there basically cooking up meth on the res, that's where she lives.
Wow.
And she makes jewelry out there. And Dreama, it's good that you're here. I appreciate you being here. You're a friend of mine. I know a lot of people.
Hey, Dreama.
Dreama's a sweetie. So, unfortunately, I came to meet her because her son was tragically killed in Albuquerque, and she stopped by to see us. But she's got a connection to Oklahoma. And thank you for being here, Dreama. When I saw your name, it just kind of brought a smile to my face. So I wanted to mention you. Thank you for being here. And if you're driving through Trigg County, drop your vote for Troy.
Hey, one other thing, Jason, is I want to thank all my kids. I got 3 girls and they're grown adults, and man, they're always helping me out and putting stuff on their Facebook and say, here's what you ought to do. Here, got ideas. So a shout out to them and my wife. I love them all to death.
Well, and I think that your family is great. I think I've met them all. I've met some of your daughters, if not all of them, and great family. You got grandkids running around and all this, that, and the other, and he's a great granddad or great grandpa. So, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody for being here. I'm glad we're starting off 2026. I know we had to make a slight change tonight, but I think it's great. And I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to remind people, January the 23rd, Amanda, throw that up there right quick. I am going to be speaking at the Jewish Center here in Tulsa. I get asked all the time, is it open to the public? Can I come and watch you speak? Because I speak all over the country. And quite frankly, I mention where I'm speaking a lot of the times because it helps me get speaking gigs. But, this year coming up is going to be unbelievable. And I'm going to be speaking possibly, well, I know I'm going to be in California. I'm going to be in Kansas, Indiana, North Carolina, Montana. I'll be there. And the Washington State is a strong possibility that I'll be there. And I just learned that there's a possibility for Massachusetts and Maine. So I go, and I'll be in Texas as well, but I go all over the place. I mention this because, ladies and gentlemen, it's just an honor. I want you to, those that are in Tulsa, if you're thinking about going to this event, and I got on there and I started harping on it, and we got 60 more tickets sold. All of this, and Mark, the good sheriff, Mark, you're gonna love this, but this is for the museum effort for Tulsa Police, and they're putting together a museum for the Tulsa Police Department, and that's a big deal. So every single cent goes to the museum effort, every bit of it. I get zero to do this. And I'm honored to do this for the museum effort. So if you live around here, I'm telling you, this is going to hit the news. They're wanting to do a story on it, and it's going to hit the news. And if you don't get your tickets, when those things sell, we've got 72 tickets left. When those things sell, it's done. They're not opening it up to 250. It's 200 seats, and that's it. So there's literally 72 seats left. And if you haven't seen me speak, Troy's seen me speak more than once, probably.
Can I talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, please do.
Okay. Let me tell you about Jason. Thank you, buddy. I mean, you're a special person to me, but I know I've seen you 3-4 times, and every time he has had a standing ovation. I mean, I'm not telling it to make his head swell up like that. But I'm telling you, man, he has the skills that will you won't go to sleep. He's exciting. I mean, he'll knock you off your feet.
And it's the real deal. So it's not for kids. It's not for kids under 18. I can't have that. I can't have kids showing up to this thing. You will be turned away. This is for adult content. It's real life death. You're not going to need counseling when it's over, but it's the real deal. And so I'm doing this for this effort because that's a big deal. And I like to do things like that for very special causes, and that's one of them. Amanda says, "Come to Atlanta."
You ever seen him, Danny?
I have actually tried. I have been. Actually, we spoke. We did some stuff up in New York together. I hadn't been to a. I've been called, but I haven't sat in there and saw that standing ovation yet. But I'm sure it happens.
Yeah, but he's been around me a lot, so he knows how dynamic of an individual I am. So, but ladies, listen, I just wanted to mention that I'm saying it again. I'll probably post a couple of more things on my YouTube page. I will post something on my Facebook page, and it's just because anything less than a sellout, as far as I'm concerned, at 200 seats is a failure to me. I want 200 people. Because the more, actually, if they could get 500 squeezed in there, I would do it. I would love to do it. The more people, the better, because it's more exciting for me. But that's what we're doing. I'm just telling you, we've got people that are flying in from, believe it or not, I'm going to just mention this too. We've got people that are flying in from Hawaii, California, Michigan, Virginia. People coming. We got Mike Elam coming from Arkansas. All right. And we've got people coming from Texas. So the only thing I'm missing Kentucky, and I'm missing Tennessee. But that's okay.
No compressor.
Hey, I'll be there when you go to Evansville.
Well, I appreciate it very much, and you're welcome to join us. And so yes, I'll be speaking in Evansville. I'll be in Indiana twice next year. But anyway, and that reminds me, I want to make mention too. If you're up in the Henderson, Kentucky area, Christy Randolph and her husband they're running for office in that jurisdiction, in that area. And so, consider dropping them a vote. And I recommend them too. They're good people. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for being here. This means a lot to me. I know that there's some more things that I probably are going to regret not mentioning. I just can't remember it off the top of my head. Thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it. Remember to like and subscribe. Please do. I've got 78 other incredible episodes, everything from Larry Wilcox from Chips to Steve-O from Jackass. And there's a motherload of incredible, I mean, really incredible people up and down, from the lead detective from the Night Stalker to Jeffrey Dahmer case and many other things. Plus, you can watch both of these guys on previous episodes as well. And that's all I can really think of. There's probably more that I want to talk about, but I'll spare you. Next week, we are going to have one of the Watertown police officers that was involved in the Boston bombing investigation. This guy is on another level. Okay. This guy's epic. And he's coming on here, and I'm excited to he's another one of my friends from across this country. And he actually mentioned coming on here to me. So I was like, hey, heck yeah, you don't have to twist my arm. He's going to be great. He was involved in, Troy Belt for jailer. Yes, sir. Absolutely. And he's one of the people that basically was dealing with one of the Boston bombers in the boat that was inside of that, behind that house, that he was able to be a part of that. It's an epic story, and he's an epic person. We've got some exceptional guests coming on in this show in the next couple of months. Now we're going to reschedule Steve. Steve's going to probably come on down the line. I'm hoping for maybe February the 20th, and that's all I can. I want to recommend this to people too. Just one last thing before I jump off of here. If you think, I want to know about what you think of the song. Of course, I think the song's rocking. I love it. Some people are like, it's too much. Well, you know what?
I liked it.
I love it. And it makes me, it made my heart warm up when I heard it. I love it. Once again, if you're wondering why the song got changed, that's because the other song people, they got fired. They're out the door, man. They copyrighted me so they can kiss off. They're done. I'm never going to.
They got thrown into the fire.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, we burned them. So, but anyway, I appreciate everybody. Thanks, Amanda, for being here. Thank you, and Karen and everybody. Travis, thanks for being here from the Muskogee Police Department. I appreciate that as well. It's either Muskogee PD or county. I didn't clarify that, but if he's from the PD, man, we need to get together and do some training down there or something. That'd be fun. But anyway, I'll leave it at that. Next week, Friday, there was one of the other people said, I think it was Rita, I finally got to watch a live one. Well, you know what? I do most Fridays. That's the one thing that might change if I end up leaving from this network. One of the things that was posed to me, they said, hey, how about Saturday? And I'm like, how about no? And well, how about doing Friday? And I'm like, how about no? Tina, also known as Mrs. White, hates Friday nights. Okay. So, I said, how about something like during the week, like maybe a Wednesday? So it might change as far as that's concerned. but we'll see what the future holds. And until next week, I just want to tell everybody, have a safe week. Thank you, everybody. Feel free to leave messages on my Detective White Facebook page. And one last thing, throw up those QR codes real quick. Throw up the QR codes. I don't know what you got going on there, Danny. What's that shirt about?
That's a Barney card. I don't know if you can see it.
Okay, cool. From North Carolina, right?
Tennessee.
I love it.
From Leapers Fork, Tennessee. That Barney car is running radar every day out here.
Where
Okay,
can I
that's
get
cool.
a shirt like that?
Leapers Fork, Tennessee.
All right.
Well,
Hey, Jason, share my information to Danny, please.
I'll do it, and I'll give him your personal numbers, and have him call. You can call him. Yeah, and so there's my TikTok and Instagram. Feel free to follow me on that. And I do put different content, and I need to get on there on that TikTok thing. Troy, I'm going to get off here. I promise everybody. Troy, I'm going to get on that TikTok more
because this episode's going viral, Jason.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's push
is.
for it. I'm all about it.
You're going to be calling and saying, "Hey, what's going on, man? There's thousands of people viewing it." Okay, it's going to happen.
Yeah. One last thing, I got to say this real quick, and then we're getting off here. I promise we'll get off here. Not that we're rushed to get off here, but I'm afraid that people's interest span is about to leave us. But Troy's the one that goes, "Hey, buddy, you need to get on TikTok," and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not getting on TikTok. TikTok's stupid. I mean, I'm not saying it's stupid for everybody, but for people my age, I'm like, I don't even know what that is. I'm not interested in it. And as I've said many times before, what am I going to do? Get on there and twerk? I can't do that. I can't. People that I work with, I'm sure that they're already talking about me behind my back, and I don't need any more of it. So I was like, no, I don't think so. So, but anyway, I ended up putting up a couple of videos about being out at the La Bianca house and Spawn Ranch, and I walked around out there. And he called me up and he goes, "Hey, bro, you're going viral." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Man, that video, you need to go look, man. You're going viral." And that one video has had over 123,000 views on TikTok. All you got to do is shoot a picture of that. And between that one, I throw up a bunch of pictures of my excursions, etc. And that one's that one, and you can go over to my Instagram. So I do different things on both of them. I'm still kind of learning them, but anyway, it's fun, and that's why I'm doing it. It's not for any other reason that it's fun. So once again, everybody, thank you for being here, from Dreama to everybody else, and I'd mention everybody if I could, to Phyllis. Thank you so much, Sharon. I know twerking is allowed. I agree with you. I agree. And it's not happening either. I'm not doing stupid stuff like that. But actually, I'm a student of murder, and I like talking about famous murders and stuff. So maybe we'll do a little bit of that. If you have any ideas as to the direction that you'd like for this show to go, any special guests, people are like, "What about some of the other people that I work with?" I've put that out there, and I haven't really gotten a lot of interest from those that I work with. I will take, they work around me. I don't think they're really interested in hanging out any additional time with me. I will tell you this: I'm kind of more interested in thinking bigger. You know what I mean? I want to go outside of here. I have to be fascinated with them, and I have to be really, I want to go outside of Tulsa. I don't want to go here. I will say this: I did watch North Charleston, South Carolina. I'm going to give them some props. I thought the episode was pretty good, and they did a good job on the first 48 on their intro episode, and it was a 2-hour. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. And I can't think of anything else that I really wanted to say today. But next time, if you wanted more tonight, then go to the other episodes. Go to Troy's other episode. Check that out. Check out Danny's. Danny's been on here a handful of times. This is your third time on here, Troy. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I really do appreciate everybody being here. Next week, like I said, 7 p.m., we're going to be here with one of the people that's directly involved in the Boston bombing investigation. And I'm not going to say what he was doing in that, because I don't want to take away. But he was Watertown Police Department. So I think that's where that kid was caught. And but anyway, I'll let you go. Doug Satchery in the house, the Spice King from Satchery Spice. Hello, Doug. See, oh my gosh, that's great. I just talked to him recently. So welcome, Doug. Appreciate it. He's got a podcast too called The Nonsense Chronicles. Check it out. And it's really good, actually. He's got a really good podcast. And I've got 2 podcasts with him that you should check those out too, where I talk a lot about the behind the stuff of the first 48. And we also did another one about cold cases. So check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, I won't keep you any longer. Let's see you next week. I'd love to see you. Thank you all for being here. And until then, take us out, Amanda.